When the Amazon River meets the Atlantic Ocean, nature seems to forget its own rules. For hundreds of kilometers into the open sea, the water remains fresh. It doesn't instantly turn salty. From space, satellites capture this impossible sight, a massive plume of fresh water floating over the ocean like the shadow of a continent. Scientists agree this is not normal behavior because the Amazon isn't just a river. It behaves like a living system, almost like a planet of its own. Early European explorers realized this long before modern science. When they first reached the Amazon, they thought they had found an ocean. The horizon disappeared. The opposite bank was nowhere to be seen. Waves formed, tides shifted, and water stretched endlessly in every direction. That's why locals still call it the River Sea. Every single second, the Amazon releases nearly 209,000 cubic meters of fresh water into the Atlantic. That is more than 1.5 times the total fresh water used by every human on Earth every second. No river in history has ever come close. Even if you combine the next 7 largest rivers in the world, they still fail to match the Amazon's power. Think about that. Roughly 20% of all fresh water entering Earth's oceans comes from this one river alone. Centuries ago, sailors traveling far from land would lower buckets into the Atlantic and drink the water. Because the Amazon had diluted the ocean itself, this river doesn't just end at the coast. It pushes the sea back. During the dry season, the Amazon can stretch 10 kilometers wide. But during the rainy season, it expands beyond imagination, reaching 48 kilometers in some places. Standing on one bank, the other side vanishes over the horizon, just like an open ocean. This overwhelming scale explains why no bridge has ever crossed the Amazon completely. Not because we lack the technology, but because the river simply refuses to be controlled. Then there's a question that still divides scientists today. Is the Amazon the longest river on Earth? For decades, textbooks have said the Nile wins by a small margin. But modern satellite mapping tells a different story. When researchers traced the Amazon's true source deep into the Andes Mountains, its length increased dramatically. Some studies now estimate it to be between 6,800 and 7,000 kilometers long, possibly longer than Nile. Others disagree, debating the exact definitions and measurements. The argument continues. But when it comes to volume, basin size, and its impact on the planet, the Amazon has no equal. As this river flows across South America, it changes its identity again and again. Near the Andes, it's known as the Apurimac. Further downstream, it becomes the Ucayali and the Maranon. It's in Brazil where something truly extraordinary happens that finally earns it the name Amazon, near the city of Manaus. 2 massive rivers meet in a spectacle known as the Meeting of Waters. On one side flows the Rio Negro, with water as dark and black as ink. On the other, the Solms, thick and muddy brown. For more than 100 kilometers, they run side by side, refusing to mix. They have different temperatures, different speeds, and different mineral compositions. Like oil and water, they remain separate until far downstream, where they finally merge and become what the world knows as the Amazon River. But this river carries memories older than continents. Millions of years ago, South America and Africa were part of a single supercontinent called Gondwana. Back then, the Amazon flowed in the opposite direction, from east to west, toward the Pacific. When the Andes Mountains began to rise, the river's path was blocked. Slowly, over millions of years, it reversed its flow and carved a new path toward the Atlantic Ocean. Even today, echoes of that ancient reversal remain. Twice a year, the Atlantic Ocean reminds the Amazon what it's up against. During extreme high tides, massive waves, sometimes over 4 meters high, crash into the Amazon Delta. The force is so powerful that the river itself gives way. For kilometers inland, the Amazon flows backward. This phenomenon is called the porous. It sounds like thunder tearing through the jungle. Surfers from around the world actually come to ride these waves, not on the ocean, but inside a river being pushed in reverse by the sea. Just when scientists thought the Amazon had revealed all its secrets, they discovered something impossible. Another river flowing beneath it. In 2011, Brazilian geophysicists announced the discovery of a massive underground water flow directly under the Amazon basin. They named it the Rio Hamza after the lead researcher. This isn't a river you can see. It flows nearly 4 kilometers beneath the surface, moving slowly through porous rock. While the Amazon above rushes forward with incredible force, the Hamza moves at a speed of just millimeters per hour. Yet its size is shocking. While the Amazon reaches up to 50 kilometers wide on the surface, the underground Hamza River is estimated to be between 200 and 400 kilometers wide. It silently follows the same path, originating near the Andes and emptying deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean floor. A river beneath a river, a shadow following a giant. Above ground, life in the Amazon exploded in ways unmatched anywhere on Earth. This rainforest is the most biodiverse place on the planet, but long ago, it belonged to monsters. The Titan boa, a snake over 15 meters long and weighing more than a ton, once ruled these waters, hunting giant crocodiles and turtles. Fossils discovered in Colombia confirmed its existence dating back to the age of dinosaurs. Even today, the Amazon remains dangerous. It's home to poison dart frogs, electric eels, piranhas with razor-sharp teeth, and bullet ants whose sting feels like being shot. Sharks have even been found swimming hundreds of kilometers deep inside the river. Hidden within this vast forest are tribes that have never contacted the outside world, living as their ancestors did thousands of years ago. And perhaps the greatest surprise of all is the realization that the Amazon was once home to advanced civilizations. Using LiDAR laser technology, scientists have uncovered vast ancient cities buried beneath the jungle canopy in Bolivia. They found massive earthen pyramids, complex canal systems, and perfectly straight roads stretching for kilometers. This was the Kasarab civilization, which thrived between 500 and 1400 AD, and then they vanished. No one knows why. Disease, climate change, war, the mystery remains. The Amazon is not a river of the past. It is alive, still shaping our planet, and still hiding its secrets. And after all this time, maybe we've only just begun to understand it. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the heart of the Amazon as fascinating as I did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories about our incredible world. See you next time.